G'day everyone and welcome to the Camera Ready Confessions, a weekly live stream, even, bridging personal branding and video marketing so you shine as the obvious choice. Welcome, I am your host Zoë Wood, the video confidence coach, specifically your video confidence coach, and I help you shine as the obvious choice using your personalized video toolkit. So everything video marketing that makes you impossible to ignore. Everything you can find out details at vcc.training. That's the full website domain, vcc.training. And thank you for joining me on today's live stream. It is currently the 17th of the 4th, 2026. So it's currently April. We're currently mid-April. And we are making some very big changes here at the Video Confidence Coach, and I'll get into that in a sec. But first of all, let me go through my notes to make sure that everything is in order. You can watch or listen to this live stream on all platforms that you have found us on. So whatever platform you found us on, you will find us every day, not every day, every week at 10 a.m. Melbourne time, here, ready to answer your questions about personal branding and video marketing. Surprising. Feel free to comment your questions, your thoughts, your ideas, or your camera confessions throughout today and after the live stream. Hashtag replay squad if you're watching after it goes live. Always happy to respond to any comments or calls for action. Feel free to let me know. Always happy to respond and give you the help and the support that you need. For more information about my live streams, podcasts, offerings and services, check out the website vcc.training. That's it, vcc.training. I would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which I conduct my business. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people continue to face discrimination and disadvantage due to our country's colonial past. I stand with them in their fight against injustice. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. And for those who are watching live or soon close to the live, we are gearing up for Reconciliation Week and NAIDOC Week, which is coming in May and June respectively. So make sure to check out your local co-ops or your local Indigenous-led foundations to find out any events that are happening near you and how you can support either monetarily or with your time or with your knowledge to support your local Indigenous communities. And as we move forward, and also I still have many things to say about the government and the closing the gap, because as soon as that report was put out, it was very quickly squashed by the media, but that's just me talking. An old lady who has opinions. I'm going to say old, I mean I'm in my 30s, but old enough at this point. Let's move on to slightly more positive things. So what we have accomplished over the past week, this is just a check-in to see how we're going at the Video Confidence Coach. So guess what? It's Q2 and I still don't have my focus yet. So we are making some relatively big changes at the Video Confidence Coach, which means that I'm changing behind the scenes stuff. We're drastically reducing our service output, not in a way that is going to like impact people, but like the amount of things that I was operating when I had a look at it was like 29 things. That is not sustainable for a one-person band, let alone a small business of like 10 people. That is a lot, Zoe. So what I did was I've stripped everything back, gone really back to basics, and taken the time to really focus on who I'm working for, and which is something that I recommend you do as well. So if you are ever feeling overwhelmed in business, start doing this thing and it's actually quite helpful. And I can do a bit more details if you want that in the comments. Feel free to let me know. And that's in saying that I have spent the past week getting things ready, but I still haven't spent that time, honestly, getting my focus ready. I know I have a feeling of what it's going to be, but I don't want to leave it out just yet because I do have a tendency of jumping the gun. When I have like, here is my idea, I've done a little bit of planning, a little bit of work, I haven't done the work yet, but here is the idea, just to see what you like. And that is a good mentality to have, especially when you're in business, but then I don't follow it up by the actual work. So I want to make sure that I actually give you stuff that is relevant to you and not just say, oh, this is a nice idea, and then proceed to give you nothing, because that's not a good thing in business, and it leaves people not trusting you or things breaking. So I apologize if you have ever come across any of my stuff and you thought that I was doing something and then I wasn't doing it. I'm doing my best to fix those ADHD, shiny syndrome tendencies that I have within my business, and I'm going to stop moving the goalposts so I actually achieve my goals. surprisingly. But at the recent convos and projects that we've had over the past week, obviously we're doing our client work as we are rebranding and redoing a couple of things at the Video Confidence Coach. We've had a good couple of chats with people about collaborations in the future, so you'll be seeing those as they come out, and I will let you know here on the Camera Ready Confessions when they do. There is also a couple of contributions that I'm making to either private podcasts or other projects that I have going on with collaboration opportunities. So in the works. And then the regular stuff, I wanted to congratulate all my retainer clients, all the people that I have on a weekly basis or a fortnightly basis. Concurrently, I should say. I want to thank you all for coming such a long way. The people that I work with, most of the time I provide ad hoc one-off coaching sessions and then regular coaching mentoring regarding obviously marketing, personal branding, video marketing is what I'm here for. And for a lot of people, I usually have a very strict 6 sessions. If we can't achieve what you need to achieve in 6 sessions, it's it's not something that we can achieve together. Or it's something above my pay grade is the way that I like to frame it for my customers. But in saying that, I have so many people who have, say, done the 6 sessions and they're like, hey, can I just have you long term? I want to have half an hour of your time every fortnight just to check in with my own goals. And I then in turn have created a service. I know I just mentioned about stripping all the back, but I've created a service that allows that connection and allows that support without necessarily, taking too much out of my time with one-on-ones or making it, financially hoovered by financially annoying for someone to continue on that retainership working with me. So I'll let you know that when I figure out all the quirks and kinks on that front. And I want to thank everyone who has, even without me having all the plans laid out, immediately just went, yep, here it is. Send me the invoice, Zoe. I'm like, I haven't even set it up yet. And they're like, well, when you do, send me that. So I thank you all for your trust in me. Really, honestly, I thank you all for your trust in me in taking that step, to be perfectly honest. It was... And when you are working with individuals like this, that's true. It's just, yeah, I want to thank you so much for that opportunity. And I want to do so here. Moving on to the Unboring Your Brand podcast, which is our weekly podcast, say it with me now, about personal branding and video marketing. How did you know? So the Unboring Your Brand podcast, grow your personal brand easily and attract ready-to-buy clients is the full title. It helps with SEO and it helps with people actually finding the podcast. The most recent episode that we had this week was episode 107, Why Personal Branding Matters If You're Not an Influencer. This, as you can probably imagine, it is something that I've come across a little bit with my discovery calls, my disco calls. So these are 13-minute chats that you can have with me, no cost, no charge, complimentary, and we can sort out, get to the crux of your issue. Yes, in 13 minutes, yes, we can do it. I have skills and processes. With the personal branding matters if you're not an influencer, it is true. There is a lot of stipulation out there that the most vocal minority is the reflection of the entire internet, and that is not true. That is the vocal minority. And when it comes to influencers, we see that a lot because they are paid to be seen. They are paid to get the message out there, usually messages and products and services of others. There has been a very big shift in the industry moving away from that because ethics and situations like that, and also controversies that are happening to your sponsors also happen to you. So there's a lot of influencers who are moving to merch, who are moving to design services, who are moving to services or stuff that they can provide that they don't have to rely on that sponsorship entirely. And when it comes to building a personal brand, you aren't doing it for you. You are doing it to serve your customer, to make sure your client or your potential client hears your message. And in turn, you have to put in the legwork to be seen and heard by them. Yes, it is very reminiscent to influencing, but you aren't an influencer. You are a business owner. You are a personal brand builder. You are doing this as your job. You're doing this to serve your client, not necessarily just be seen. Feel free to check out the full episode on that to break it down even further for you. You can find that at all your good podcast catchers under Unboring Your Brand, Grow Your Personal Brand Easily and Attract Ready to Buy Clients by Zoë Wood, the Video Confidence Coach. You can find all those details there. And in checking in with Vic Podcasters. So Vic Podcasters is an online forum group that I run, as you can imagine, for Victorian podcasters here in the state of Victoria that I am in Australia. And it's been an interesting time. There's been a couple of big news events regarding AI essentially dumping of podcast episodes, where yes, we knew there was going to be a bit of a tsunami or an avalanche, I should say, but to be honest, it's just been hitting like a freight train when for every one new podcast that someone is trying to put out there, there is like 8,000. Now, of course, I'm pulling these numbers out of my ass, but like these like AI pieces of content. There was a story that we put in the group recently of someone just wholesalely ripping off these well-known podcasts and generating like simplified AI versions, not of their content, but just of general content they found online, got an AI voice to read it out, and then scooped up all the ad money. Whoa. And this is not technically illegal. Moral? No, but technically illegal. And it was just an interesting conversation that we had in the groups regarding this type of like skirting around. And also when I hear an AI voice, I personally, now full disclosure, I do as someone who runs business, who takes care of my clients and my staff, and my team, I should say, not staff, team, I do use AI tools. Do I use them every day? No. Do I use them all the time? Not really. But I am not a fan of the AI generated images or videos, and then AI audio, unless it is used incredibly sparingly, does not work. It takes people out of what they are currently listening to. I could listen to a very interesting podcast about AI marketing and digital marketing in general, because of course that is my shtick. And the AI ads that they put in there are incredibly jarring because they're AI clones or synthesizers of the host's voice. So you listen to the host, the actual person speaking, and then it immediately cuts to the AI version of their voice, which has no energy, doesn't really get the accent right most of the time. And God forbid, if you ever hear me going all American, that'll probably be why, because I'll have an AI clone of myself. And even then, I don't think I like it. And there's this constant push to have AI be like, it's going to take your jobs. That's progression of society, yes. Are you going to then make sure people have enough food to eat and housing to live in? Or no, just capitalism, capitalism, right? Okay, sure. Yes, I have various things to say about that, but bringing it back to the topic at hand, Zoe, we had some really awesome discussions. We've also chosen our subject for our Q2 live Q&A. So at the end of June, we will be running so the last Wednesday of June will be the live Q&A regarding video podcasting. We've had a lot of questions regarding video podcasting and how that feels and what it's doing, mainly because a lot of these big giants, your Spotifys, your YouTubes, are very much pushing video podcasting as the next big revolutionary thing in podcasting. Is it? We're going to see how we feel about that. You can find out more of our details, including signing up to the email list, Facebook group, or LinkedIn group via vcc.training/vic-podcasters. That is vcc.training/vic-podcasters. Awesome! Now I have ranted too much and we need to control ourselves back onto the timeline. Why? Because it's me, Zoe Wood, the Video Confidence Coach, here to help you grow your personal brand, but also not stick to my own scripts, despite the fact of how much time and energy I put into them. All right. So when it comes to today's subject of confident camera energy is trainable, as you can imagine, this is as your video confidence coach. Yes, I do believe it is trainable because it's all about practice. Confidence is just practicing, experiencing that feeling and not being overwhelmed by it. That's ultimately what confidence is to anything that you're doing. And coming across as confident is a learned skill, is something that you practice over time. And when it comes to being confident, having that confident camera energy, yeah, it's a case of practicing. It's a case of putting it out there. And especially for people who I'm currently in chats with regarding growing their personal brand. And they see that video is like the tool. The reason that it has worked for the past 12 years is because obviously we've got enough computing power to be able to run them relatively succinctly, but also it enables people to have more connection to you. And we are now a little bit as a society, but definitely in the online spheres, especially on social media, we are moving away from incredibly polished content or incredibly polished short form content. Why? Because AI can do that. And it is really much pushing people off and going, ugh, like there doesn't feel like there's a lot of energy or effort behind it. No matter how much time you spent, if it looks AI generated, people are going to click away. So when it comes to the work and the confidence that you want to exude, you want to do this hopefully consistently, but you want to do this in a way that like serves your goals, helps the people that you want to help, and allows you to do it without burning out, but also without receding back into yourself or going the easy route just because you feel it's easy. We're going to get into that today in the podcast recording that we will record. So looking into today, we have 3 community questions of which I'm going to answer. And then we're going to go into the podcast recording of Start Here with Video Marketing. And I wanted to thank everyone who has provided their commentary or their thoughts regarding the community questions. I have started trickling them through my social media. I do have systems, I do have processes. Am I lazy? Yes. So if you haven't seen it yet, do not worry. I'm taking my sweet time, but I will do that. My plan is to do that over the next 2 weeks at minimum. Do not hold me on that. Do not quote me. Do not ring me if I don't do it. But what I'm saying is that these community questions are designed to be short, sharp, stop me from rambling, and able to get to the point and just let us move on. So we've got a couple of questions from Priya, Sophie, and Nick. Of course, these are not people's real name, but we are going to use them as stand-ins for what we are going to talk about today. And then we will carry on with the podcast episode recording of Start Here with Video Marketing. And as we move on to that, I'm going to leave you with Ad Zoe, and then ads, not really ads. They're more just a collection of my shorts that I currently have. And then we're going to cut on to Priya, who is focusing on how to be credible when you're new in an industry. Give me a second to think about that. Get to that 12. And if you absolutely hate the experience, maybe podcasting isn't for you. It isn't for your brand. It isn't for your business. Then that's okay. You're going to stop there. It's going to be a limited series. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to, help you gain customers and leads into your business over the next 5, 10, 15 years. The longevity of a podcast and a podcast episode is very, very long compared to, say, for example, a Facebook post, which is like 2 seconds, maybe even 3, depending on the day. So when it comes to a podcast, it's always nice to have that idea in the back of your head. Again, give yourself that opportunity to focus on other areas of business, to be a little bit more grounded in what you do before moving into a podcast area. How do I position myself as credible when I'm new to an industry? Well, Priya, from the conversation that we had, you said that you were shifting careers, that you felt like you were starting from scratch. No one is ever starting from scratch, but I understand where you're coming from there. And you also don't want to look like you're trying too hard. Do not worry. When it comes to growing your personal brand, there's going to be some learning and there's going to be some time that you're going to need to take to grow your, not just your network of other people that you can talk to within your industry, but also your own knowledge within the industry. What you can do is maybe document your process and maybe, if you feel so inclined, create content, maybe either a blog or some way that you can document your process as you are learning and growing in your new industry. That helps both other people who are like yourself, and you can build up connections and networks that way, but it also showcases to people that you are taking this seriously. You have the proof to showcase what you are doing. And as you grow your personal brand, especially when you're trying to become known in the industry, again, without trying too hard, you can do it. You just need to show that authenticness, if that is a good word to use still. You need to show people that you are serious. And to do so, it is repeating the same things over and over again. It is being consistent. And also for yourself, it's taking that time to learn. And then using that learning into something else. If it is a video, maybe it's a daily story that you put on your Instagram, or maybe it's a blog that you write at the end of a week. Have it be something that you like doing. There's something that is consistent, and it can showcase that your knowledge grows over time. You've got this, Priya. I believe in you. Hopefully work with me, but also you can work with other marketing professionals. Because if anyone who you come across who works in marketing who doesn't put the customer first is a big red flag, you should step aside and just leave them to it. Because they may be, for example, someone who's worked in marketing for a long time, or someone who's fallen into marketing and they're very good at, say, the graphic design element. You want to grow your personal brand without losing yourself in the process. Well, Sophie, the conversation that we had about, you essentially said that you care about a lot of things, and you want to make sure that you showcase this in your personal brand in a way that feels honest. And a lot of marketing advice out there feels gross. And to be honest, Sophie, it comes from a lot of capitalism think, capitalism, you got to be the top dog. A lot of men, a lot of white men, guru type of mentality, unfortunately. And when it comes to this kind of gross feeling, that's going to happen. That's going to feel, that is definitely going to be a feeling that you might have to tackle with and think about. But when it comes to actually spending the time to grow your personal brand without losing yourself in the process, is identifying that your personal brand is the professional reflection of you. Your values need to align, but it is that reflection of you. You can choose what you can show, what you tell, what you do. And when you are in a certain industry, you are there to help the people who you want to serve. Your personal brand is not for you, Sophie. And as you grow, putting that focus on them and not just you, you may be the mouthpiece. It may be your message. They are the ones ultimately getting the solution you're providing. And when you grow your personal brand, put them first. You've got this. I believe you, Sophie. Amanda asks, how do you balance not giving away for free when meeting with people for coffee chats in the beginning? I can definitely understand that mentality of not feeling like you're giving away too much. And say, for example, myself and Amanda have recently been networking at an in-person event that I run once a month called the Geelong Podcasters. We meet on the fourth Friday of every month at Cafe Go in Geelong on Bellarine Street. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But one of the things that can feel quite overwhelming, especially when you're an expert in your field. How do I start showing up online when I don't feel ready yet? Nick asked me the question, and the comment was mainly about, I'm worried people will judge me for posting when I'm not big enough yet. I'll then tell you now, everyone starts from something, and usually starting from nothing. And when you are growing a personal brand, it is when you are growing a personal brand, it is the professional reflection of you and your values. So when you are growing a personal brand, you are doing it for someone else. You are doing it for your audience. You are doing it for, the people that need your solution that you're providing, the message that you're putting together. And when it comes to being judged for it, I would like you to think about the people that you're helping. Are they going to be like, you, he's not a, Alex Hormozy. You, he's not a Tony Robbins. When it comes to those things, do they care about that, or do they care about the solution you're providing? Do they care about alleviating that problem off their shoulders? What are they going to care about more? That is who you think about. That is who you put center forward. That is who you put in front of your mind when working on things like this. And when you're growing a personal brand, yes, you are going to be judged by people who aren't willing to put in the work themselves. And that's okay. Knock them off the side. You got this, Nick. When coaching people or mentoring people when networking does come up a lot in business, I do recommend choosing groups wisely, or surprisingly, I might be getting better at this. So for those who are newly joining us on the Camera Ready Confessions, with the community questions, I do have a tendency of rambling longer than I would like to, but I am trying to do these regularly, almost like the stuff that I preach, Zoe. I should actually listen to my own advice. When I practice enough, especially with being succinct more, I'm able to delve in really deeply. I do find myself, I repeat a lot, so I am trying, especially with the shorter community questions, to not just repeat myself over and over again in a prompt. So I'll edit that a little little bit more finely for the final product. That is probably going to go on my website in like articles related to what I'm talking about, social media as like promotion of what I do, as well as, you know, simple tools that I can send people, especially when when they have a certain issue, I can be able to send them a video message with this in tow to be able to get that across. And yeah, it is very effective. It works really well, and it enables not necessarily people to immediately take action and spend money with me, but they then refer me to people that they know who need the help, even though I've never worked with them. And that is a tactic that is proving well, hopefully. And I want to do my best for the people that reach out to work with me. So, hi, I'm going to spend my time doing my best for you. We are going to move on to the Unboring Your Brand podcast episode. So this episode we are recording is going to be Start Here with Video Marketing. So we are going to delve into that, and we're going to continue on the conversation from there. And depending on how we go, I might be able to record a second episode. Oh my God. Don't say that, sorry. I do my best. In the past, I would like record 2 episodes back to back for a podcast episode and have a long line to be able to be able to like 6 months ahead in my podcast episodes. I have already chewed all that up, and I'm like 2 episodes ahead now. So, whoops. Hi. We're here. We're doing our best. Speaking of which, here is my mug. What is your BFM? Feel free to check out vcc.training/BFM to find out more. You know. All right. I will leave you with Zoë, and we'll cut straight to Start Here with Video Marketing. The Video Confidence Coach would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which I record my podcast. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Look forward to me chatting at you next week, superstars. So ultimately, at the end of the day, asking who the type of people that you want to work with and the type of questions that you want to ask are about their trend adoption. How are they when are they likely to take you on board? And also, how risk averse are they, and as to whether or not you need to provide more information leading up to any sort of launch in your business. I wish you all the best. What is the simplest way to grow my visibility if I don't know where to begin? You might be in the right place, my friend. Come and join us. Welcome to the Unboring Your Brand podcast with me, your host, Zoë Wood, the Video Confidence Coach. Yes. Come, friend. Come. We are going to be starting here with video. Yes, we are going to be doing the awaited first step for those people who may not be aware of me, Zoë Wood, the Video Confidence Coach. Hi, yes, the makeup is irregular, or I'm going to take you on a journey to help you shine as the obvious choice using your personal video toolkit, because that's what I do here at the Video Confidence Coach. Give you the tools, usually via video marketing, because that's the most effective way at the moment, to be able to help achieve your goals. Obviously, I do personal branding, but your branding goals, or your business branding goals, your company goals, or maybe just you have a project that you want some help in, here is a good place to start. So this question that I specifically got was from a conversation I had with Haruka, and the question that I want to devote to this podcast episode today about is, how do I start building my personal brand with video? Because of course that's what we're discussing, when I don't know where to begin. Because understandably, you go online and there is just everything. Because of course there is a lot of people out there talking the talk, walking the walk, maybe not so much that latter part, maybe a lot of like the talking part. And people have so much advice, and so much of it comes outdated rather quickly, and you're just overwhelmed from where to even begin. Here is a beginner's guide, and this is where we get started. So, to start off with, I want to sit you down, breathe out, maybe get a blanket, nice cup of tea, relax. If you're driving, don't fall asleep. Stay with me now. I want to set the scene. This episode is going to be your cornerstone episode where you start and come back anytime that you lose your bearings. When you are taking on a project, when you're growing your personal brand, you want to be known for something. You want to help the people who you are here to serve. And in turn, you need people to listen to you and understand your message and take your advice, take your services, your products, whatever solution that you are providing them. You want them to be able to hear and listen to you on that front. So to do so, you need to be there. And to be there, you need to have proof. You need to be seen doing it. So in those moments when you are feeling unwaverly, or you're not sure where to begin, or you're not sure what you're doing, come back to this episode and I'll give you some starter points. The real problem that you're facing, if you are listening or watching, hi. The real problem is not just do more content, put more out, post 10 times a day, 15 times a day, 25 times a day. Let's breathe out, sit back, and get clear on what you actually do and who it's actually for. That may seem basic, that may seem obvious, and especially if you are someone who has been trained in marketing, this is going to feel very obvious to you, but we do regularly forget it. In these times when we are growing our personal brands, we are putting in the work every day. We are doing the work every day. We aren't just filming something and putting it out there. We are doing all the processes in the back work. We are running a business with this personal brand. We are serving a company and hopefully getting paid with our personal brand. We are using this as an asset for us to use. But in turn, we need to grow and take action every day to make sure this thing becomes what it needs to do to help serve who we're serving. And sometimes the people that we're serving kind of just slowly fall off the priority list. And it's not out of a fault of your own. It's not out of anyone's real fault. It's just you're in it every day. And sometimes you need yourself or me to be able to look at you and be able to give you feedback from outside of your own head, outside of your own influence, or outside of your own little world that you've created. I want you to reframe your personal brand in plain language without feeling cringe, to take a step to take any words that you've just added over time and being able to strip that back to a really clear reflection of your personal brand. Because there is a lot of pressure to build. There is a lot of pressure to hustle. There is a lot of pressure to constantly grow, constantly go bigger, better. Must make more money. Must put out more posts. Must put myself out more. Must get bigger deals. It's a lot of pressure. And most of the time when you are growing a personal brand, if you are doing the work, it's your personal brand, you are doing the work. If you have someone who maybe has a team around you or staff around you, you also have to do the work so then they can do their work. Or you have to support them in doing their work. It is a lot of pressure and it can build up and erupt like a volcano over time. So even if you're not ready to check in with me, Zoë Wood, the video confidence coach, with a disco call that you can check out in the link below, where we just have 13 minutes, just you and we chat about your personal brand. No generic stuff. I'm sorry, a podcast is going to be generic because I'm talking to a lot of you, even though I'm talking directly to you here. My information and the advice I'm going to give is fairly generic because it will be. But if you're ever interested and maybe you don't have the funds, feel free to check out my regular live streams, Camera Ready Confessions at 10 a.m. on Fridays, Melbourne time, by the way. I'm based in Melbourne. And if you aren't able to, have those funds, join me on the live stream and ask questions. Put it in the comments. I'm always happy to direct my attention for you and be able to help you do that. But for those who maybe do have a bit of funds, or maybe you just do not have the time, book in a disco call and we'll make it happen for you. But for those of us who are still at the podcast and not rushed off and immediately to book in a disco call with me on the website, vcc.training, we can still build momentum by looking at the next steps ahead. So come with me, come and join me, have a look at these steps, and let's try, shall we? So, all right, let's just imagine we have taken the time to be like, okay, I'm either going to start or my personal brand, or maybe, realistically, you already have a personal brand. Whether you admit it or not, you have a reputation. You already put yourself out there. You already have a professional way that you address yourself. You may be someone who is starting in your industry, or you may be starting working for the first time. Hi, welcome. It doesn't really matter where you start. It's more that you're taking control of what is already there. You're taking control of your reputation. Obviously, that is something that other people can control, but you can still influence it by providing proof, by having, evidence of what you do so that people can research you, look you up, and be shown and like, oh, she does know her stuff. If you pick a certain industry that you are either part of or you've kind of fallen into, there are plenty of situations like that, being able to showcase that you are the authority, you are the knowledge expert. And even if you aren't at that level that you want to be, showcase the journey of you getting there. Showcase the journey of the people that you follow, the people that are influencing you to be a better person and to grow your own personal brand. Do your best to show the journey, show the proof. Even if you aren't where you want to be, it is still a journey that people are willing to follow. And even in the times when they're not, in the times when you've got no one in the live stream, you've got no one listening to the podcast, or no one really gives a crap about who you are. Yet. You are growing and taking control of your personal brand that you can use as an asset to, achieve a higher promotion, maybe get poached by another job. There's plenty of people that I've worked with who have done that, where they've worked really hard to get a promotion in a company. The company didn't give it to them, so another company just went, okay, and just pluck them into the other company in the same or adjacent industries. It doesn't have to be a small business thing. Now, of course, a lot of the stuff that I do is very small business centered because I am a small business owner and have been my entire adult life and a fair chunk of my teenage life as well. Why? Because I wanted the control of being able to make my own money and not rely on the whims of some employer who really couldn't give a crap about me. I wanted to take on the opportunity of starting my own business, and I found it very fulfilling both in my professional and my personal life. I have the flexibility to do work whenever I like. Yes, I still have to do a lot of work, but I can make choices. And if in the event that a friend of mine really needs support and a hug, I don't have to be like, oh, I have to wait until I clock off at 5. I can be like, cool, meet you now. Provide that support. Maybe do a little bit of work later in the evening, if I so choose. But that's my control. And when I was younger and a little bit more naive, I thought that everyone would like that control. Though on the flip side, it does mean that you have to put in a lot more work and a lot more hours, and not everything is guaranteed compared to a wage or working at a company where it is a guarantee because you sign a contract and you do the hours. But don't necessarily give your all, I want to stress, in a company, because that's not what they're hiring you for. They're hiring for you to do your work, not for you to give your soul. But again, coming back to my outline, when it comes to growing a personal brand with video marketing, because that's what we're here for today, taking the medium of video allows you to clearly and articulately express your thoughts, your feelings, not necessarily just in something like this where for those who aren't watching or maybe listening to me, I'm here standing in my office, full face of makeup, full blue hair, like I'm big and bright and loud. But there are more videos that you can take. You can take your phone, you can record, personal memories, professional memories, and be able to use that in support of what you are trying to do and the message you are trying to convey. Video marketing is an incredibly powerful tool. It is a tool out of many, but it is a very powerful tool. And when you are spending that time to focus on video marketing, because that's what you're here for, you're taking on that reins, I want you to think more about the audience than you probably would originally start off with. So, come join with me. So, when you're thinking about a video, usually you start thinking about, okay, where is this going? Is it going on like an Instagram story, so I should hold it vertically on the phone? Or maybe it's, I'm going to be recording a presentation that I'm doing. Okay, maybe have it landscape. There is a tendency of thinking of the final product. Very much like when you're coming across a movie and you see a trailer, and for some reason the trailer gives all the information away. You have the idea, you have the story, you have the twist, which I think is really stupid, but we're not talking about this for your personal brand. But it has a job to do. But what people usually forget is that they forget the audience, the people who are going to be taking that information and running with it. What are you going to ask people to do? Or even not even ask, what are you going to make them feel? Are you going to educate them? Are you going to entertain them? Or are you going to do, hopefully, what I like to do is a combination of both, edutainment. Having that opportunity to, what is your audience doing? Who is your audience? Not just demographics of women the age of 45 to 55. Like, realistically, what are they like doing? Where are they going to see your video? Are they going to see it when they're super stressed, or they're trying to research information? Or maybe they're coming across it in the algorithm because they're interested in your industry or the stuff that you do. Think about them first. And when it comes to video marketing, that's usually what people forget. And marketing is in the word. It's in the message word. The people who are going to make the decision aren't necessarily the people that are going to be watching your video. So you need to think about that as well. Your final client, or the people that you serve, may be down the line, but the people that you need to convince to make that next step, to book in that appointment, to buy that product, to book in that service with you, are all the way up here. Yep, still in frame. Are all the way up here. These are the people you help, but these are the people who are making decisions. And with your video marketing message, you can take that opportunity to address both. I would recommend picking one audience at a time though. And you can do that through multiple videos. We are beyond the age where we just need one good video that we're going to play everywhere. And I was personally a big pet peeve of mine. So I'll take you on a little journey before I get more into this. But a big pet peeve that I had when I went to networking events here in Geelong, so part of the Geelong Chamber. Hi, girlies. The Geelong Chamber is a long-running, Chamber of Commerce, and I was a member for a good 15 years. I have now personally taken a break, but I will probably come back on board, depending on circumstances. But these events were usually sponsored by someone. These events that would have 200 to 300 people in usually a very cramped room, all there to do business. 55% about all there to do business. And as part of the sponsorship, as part of the putting the money towards hiring the venue, the catering, running the actual event, you have the opportunity to provide either a panel or someone standing on stage talking, or for a lot of new age businesses, they would run a video. And then it became very clear that they just kind of did one big video and that's it. But the video would be, sure, it would be there, but it would be fairly generic. It wasn't entirely clear who it was talking to. It's covering way too many audiences once. It's not establishing the people in the room, or it's not talking to the people in the room. And even in the very small event that is talking to Geelong-based businesses, it then went like 180. Yeah, it went 180 and then started talking about other things that weren't related to Geelong businesses. And it frustrated me. And when it comes to the videos that you are starting to or thinking to create in your marketing, you can do it more than once. You've got the assets, you've got the video. You may have even paid people to do it and get really good quality stuff. Awesome. Use it 1,000 times. Use it in different ways. Have different messages, have different audiences. You've got the opportunity, you've got the content, you've got the stuff there. You can use it, you can repurpose it many, many different ways. And this podcast, of course, isn't about repurposing. But think about your audience. Where are they going to see it? Where are they going to find it? Where are they going to stumble upon it? Are they going to be surprised, delighted, or just bored off their asses? Think about your audience, because your audience is the person who is going to make that decision. who is going to go into your retail store, who is going to go onto the website, going to click the link, who is going to take an action. No, not everyone who sees your video is going to take action. And if they do, it's probably not a good sign. You want the people who you're there to serve, who are going to benefit from what you are saying and what you are doing, to take that action. And in turn, you need to think about them first. From as soon as you come up with the idea, all the way to absolute execution, and then, say with me now, repurpose that content again. And of course, you can check out the link below with the show notes of this episode, where I'll go into full detail about repurposing in various episodes that I have about repurposing video content. But again, I have pulled this back. When it comes to video, people learn, or when it comes to video, your audience have the opportunity to have a choose your own adventure based on how they best absorb information. Now, there's a little bit of a mess. There's a little bit of a myth when it comes to learning styles, that people are either kinesthetic learners, as they need to touch things, or they are auditory learners or visual learners. It's very much a myth now that has been perpetuated over time, a little bit by me, so I apologize if I did that or have had that opinion in the past. My apologies for that. When it comes to the way that people learn, they are in different stages of life. They're in different scenarios. They're in different situations. And video pretty much covers all of that in a way to not just educate, entertain, but hold attention, to allow people to absorb the message that they are being given. Because arguably, people are receiving, I think it was like 3,000 to 4,000 messages a day from various different parties. And it can be very overwhelming, which involves them just switching off. So your video needs to stand out, it needs to capture their attention, and it needs to not necessarily just generate engagement. Engagement are your comments, your shares, your likes, like people just doing passive things. When, especially with the people that I'm talking to most of the time, you want them to purchase something. You want them to sign up to your emailing list so you don't have to worry about pleasing the algorithm gods of social media. You're asking them to do something, or to follow you, or maybe just spend enough time on your video so that the algorithm gives them more of your stuff. Look at me knowing what I'm talking about. But when it comes to this choose your own style adventure for your clients or your customers or your audience, we relatively fall into 4 camps. We have audio. So these are people who are maybe listening to a podcast. So you can take this opportunity with a video that you can pull out the audio. So pull out as in like you have just an audio track, and you can put that into a podcast playlist that helps people get started step by step. Or you can use that opportunity to have that piece of audio as something that you reference in other videos. Again, the repurposing aspect. That audio is very important because it needs to be in platforms that people are using audio. I am a definite audio listener when it comes to podcasts. I listen to a minimum of 4 hours a day. Yes, I have a problem. I know I have a problem. And if you are listening to this podcast, there's a chance that you have a problem too. Feel free to email me your stats and we can commiserate together. But that all comes from video. I am doing as I am recording this podcast now, I'm currently doing a live stream, my camera ready confessions, that I'm recording this now, and I then repurposed the hell out of this stuff to best be able to reach people depending on the best option that they have, or the way that they best like to consume information. Here we are. And video is the best place to start because it covers all these options. The next option specifically is visual. And as you can imagine, this is the video itself. You can point to a YouTube playlist that helps for people that are show, don't tell me. I want to see the proof of what you have to give. And that's what you're here for. You're here to show the proof. And that means having videos, but not just one, multiple videos around the same message, using different words, using different visuals, different ways of hooking. And I'm not talking about short form video here, just in case you're thinking about all the videos that I'm scrolling past and, when I'm doom scrolling on a Friday night. No, I'm talking about just videos that are on your website that have different wording to make sure you cover the people who are searching for what you have and what you provide, but may not necessarily be using the exact terminology for your industry. And You can also use videos to pull a transcript. Yes, so the words that you are saying in a video, you can pull what is known as a transcript. There are plenty of AI tools that can do this. You can also just use the transcription section on a YouTube video to be able to pull out the words that are being said. And then those words can be used to be a basis of a blog post, basis of an email newsletter, basis of your website copy, can be a basis of posts that you post on Thread or X, if any of us are doing that nowadays. Personally, I'm not really a fan, but if it works for you in your industry, you do your thing. If it works, it works. And you can use this text as a source of truth, but also a single hub to keep all your information together that your video may not be able to capture. And again, you are doing your best to pull as much as you can out of the videos you create, because video marketing is not just video. It is creating more and more to be pulled out that you can use to help and serve the people that you are here to serve. I want you to think of video marketing as moving away from just visibility or being seen to clarity, providing that next step for your viewer, for your listener, for your reader, that helps them get to the next step for knowing exactly who you are for and what you are doing and why they should follow you. Why should they care about what you say? Why should they listen to you? Why should they take action on the things that you recommend taking action on? Because if you are growing a personal brand, you are the thought leader. You are the expert. You are the knowledgeable person. I've forgotten what other LinkedIn methods of way of explaining these type of things. You are doing your best for them. And when it comes to the focus that you are putting, again, like I said, you are putting your viewer first, the person who is taking this action first. Your video can do that and be very clear about it. A concept I'd like to introduce you to is a customer avatar. Now, this can be, even if you're not doing it purely for a customer or someone who is going to buy off your client or what have you. An avatar is a fictional person that you build, almost a bridge between your personal branding and your video marketing, that enables you to think about all the potential ways that they are coming across your message, coming across your video, and what things that they're expecting and what are the things that they are not expecting. And that's a very crucial thing when it comes to video marketing, being able to surprise and delight your viewers with something that they weren't entirely expecting. For example, me, as I stand here, I am, like I said, bright blue shirt, bright blue hair, bright blue and pink makeup today, but that always changes. But I'm there to give the energy, to bring you on board. And that is to both keep your attention, hopefully, if you've enjoyed my antics so far, but you find out more about me and the way that I work, and you're more likely to join a disco call, you're more likely to join one of my services, or maybe if you see me or spot me speaking at an event or something, you go, yeah, I'm going to go to that event. Oh, I've seen her around. Yeah, I like what she has to say. I'll join. I'll come on board. And even if you think my opinions are full of shit, you got this far, didn't you? Because I managed to keep your attention and I had my customer avatar drilled down so tightly that I'm able to provide this information and consistently for you. Do I go on tangents? Yes. Do I have some of you click away after my tangents? Probably. But the fact is that I'm here for you and I know exactly who I'm talking to. And I want to stress for those people who are new to video marketing that it is okay to focus on the people you want to focus on. Being generic is the realm of governments and AI. It is boring as shit. Once you are a brand for everyone, you are a brand to no one. And especially when your personal brand is the core crux of what you are trying to do, or the focus or the project that you're doing, you are going to lose people super fast if you are not direct about who you serve and why you serve them. And in the event that that doesn't happen, that's okay. You can pivot, you can change, you can move things around. I do plenty of videos and content and playlists about pivoting your personal brand when you make a new change, go to a new audience or a new industry. Feel free to check those out in the description below. Your video marketing is to invite the viewer, the listener, the reader to take the path today and not 2 years down the line. I want you to come on board and just land that promise in that message, in that video, audio, in that blog post, whatever you're trying to do. I want you to have this episode as a way that links everything together in your head, hopefully prompts you to be able to build better tools that help people build better services and products that help people achieve what they're trying to achieve with you, because you are here for them. You are not here for you. And even though you are putting in the work to, say, build your personal brand, build your platform, and using video as a tool to be able to achieve that, you need to start somewhere. And you aren't going to be perfect straight off. You are going to look like crap. But as long as you don't look like AI, or you don't look like, an outdated government shill, then I think you're fine. I want this episode to be a starting point for you to build your visibility with video, because that's why we're here. That's why I'm here. And if you're ever stuck, feel free to reach out to me and book in a disco chat. Your personal brand exists with you or without you, either way. So why not take the opportunity to have it work for you for a change? Your video marketing can exist in multiple different outputs: video, audio, reading, text. You can also pull that information to create tools like quizzes or courses if you're so inclined. At the moment, maybe not so much, but we're having a bit of a pendulum swing back to courses. I'll have a future podcast episode about that, and I can get into that for you. Use this episode as the hub that it is meant to be, to have you reinvigorate your interest in starting with video marketing, or just reinvigorate yourself again, because having a clear idea of what the people who you are there for do and do next, so your content actually works for you. Thank you for joining us on the Unboring Your Brand podcast. And a recommendation for episodes I would love you to check out is one of two things. So I would love you to check out episode 81 of the podcast, Why No One Remembers Your Name. So these are for my people who have maybe come back after starting video marketing and feel a little bit defeated, a little bit And if that is you, do not worry. I feel you. I hear you. I experience it every day. Feel free to come back and check out episode 81, where it is a follow-on. So if you want to tighten your message and get clear about the people and customer you serve, as we mentioned in today's episode, so have that opportunity to come back. And if you are feeling like no one cares, feel free to check out that episode. And the other episode I would love you to check out, we did allude to it a bit today, but I want you to line up in your podcasting feed, episode 44, Why Your Website is Your Priority. Now, this is something that I tout a lot if you have never met me before, that your website is your digital, like a shop front. It is the ground that can never be moved away from you from algorithms or social media or blah, 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 blah. It is the perfect, stable place as your home base for whenever you want to have all your things together, your playlist, your videos, but also the content that you are creating from your videos. Because again, your video is not just one thing. Your video is a spark that creates a whole bunch of things. So in turn, you need a place to put them. And may I recommend a website? Even if it is just one simple page, that is what you can do. So you have listened to this episode. Hopefully you have taken the opportunity to check out the other things from this podcast episode, which is the written part, which is the show notes in the first link in the description below. If you are so inclined and you want me to focus on you and your personal brand personally, check out the disco call chat. Disco. In the description below, that is the second link. And from there, I want you to take one simple action and just think about, maybe even have a little bit of a visual exercise and think about the person who your latest video was for. You may not have felt like you did it the right way, or even if you haven't taken on the mantle of doing some video marketing yet, maybe think about the type of person that would be watching your video, listening to your video, reading the description or blog post created from your video. What are they like? Where are they watching the video? What is their life like? How are they feeling? Are they tired? Are they stressed? Are they overwhelmed? Are they in pain? Think about that, embody that, and start using that to make your next decision. Maybe you want to rewrite a script for a video, or maybe you just want to scrap the other video and do a new one entirely from the information you got from this episode. Whichever way it ends up being, I am here for you. But if this episode has helped you out at all, I would love for you to hit subscribe and follow so you don't miss the one that is coming out next week, same time, same place, 6 a.m. Melbourne time every Wednesday. And if you are so generous and you really love today's episode, please give us 5 stars and a quick review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts because it helps so much. Thank you for joining me on today's podcast. And I look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll touch on another project, where we'll touch on another topic about personal branding and video marketing. What a shock. I am, to be honest, quite shit at both. But that's why I constantly work on it. I regularly invest in new courses to brush up on my knowledge and to do my best to be there for my customers and to listen to their queries and their quips as they have them, because that's why I'm there. I'm there to help and serve them. Won't you look at that? We have reached the end of another Camera Ready Confessions. Thank you all for your comments and your questions and your thoughts and your ideas for future podcast topics. And all of those in the hashtag replay squad. Don't worry, I haven't missed you. I will make sure to respond to your comments after the fact. So thank you everyone for your input. If you have missed any part of today's live stream, please watch or listen the whole live stream on the show notes in the link below, or you can just find out more description, find more on the platform of choice, because hopefully you've watched this far, the algorithm will give you more of my Camera Ready Confessions. And for show notes, check out the link below, or if you're so inclined or you're listening to this, feel free to check out the website vcc.training/camera-ready-confessions, and you will find all the show notes for all of my live streams. I've got all that information there for you. Next week, same time, same place, 10 a.m. every Friday. But next Friday, we have Why People Trust You Faster on video. Oh, it's almost like I speak around the same topics and same ideas, so you trust me on those things. Interesting. You can find out all the details there, but I'm going to read you the description now. You know that moment when you hit record and suddenly it feels like you have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself to everyone, to the internet, to your mum, just because you hit a damn button. Trying to win trust on video can turn into an over-explaining, over-performing, overcompensating, and second-guessing every single word that comes out of your mouth. The more you push for it, the more it slips out of your sweaty mouth. I do like alliteration, don't I? And also putting fancy words on things. Meanwhile, people who sound simpler, maybe a little looser, or even a bit rougher around the edges than you seem to build trust faster than you and get the goods. Be it engagement, money, numbers, what have you, metrics go up. That is annoying, right? Well, in this Camera Ready Confessions, which is coming up, Zoë Wood, your video confidence coach, unpacks what actually builds trust on camera and why chasing it wholly and directly often backfires. You'll see what really is shaping how people read you on video and how this dynamic might slow down your connection, your message, your growth, and even your results without realizing it. So watch it live on Friday, 10 a.m. Melbourne time, or catch the replay when it suits you. Thank you for joining, and confess your camera sins next week, same time, same place.